What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of Something About Sports right here on Movement Radio. I am Talon Williams.
I'm Chip Hazard.
Roger Sierra.
And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's recap time. We're going to go over the 2023 NFL draft. A lot of crazy moves. People got picked. Some people didn't get picked in the first round that we kind of maybe thought would went with the first round. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, how did you guys feel overall about the draft this year?
It was. I felt like it was intriguing because there was picks that were made that kind of shouldn't have been made, and a lot of trades that were made right off the rip that were it kind of turned the draft on its head.
Yeah, Roger, you feel the same way?
I mean, the only interesting part was the multiple trades, but other than that, I mean, a lot of teams picked best out there instead of actual needs for the team again.
I felt that way too.
So,
I felt like a lot of teams did that.
Yeah,
a couple, yeah.
No, a lot of teams did.
Most, not a couple, picked what they needed.
I feel like there was really one team that knew what they needed and went for it right off the rip.
Right, exactly. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Because let's talk about it. So again, the 88th annual NFL draft just took place, and we'll kick it off. The Carolina Panthers did trade up to the number one pick with the trade to Chicago, and they select Bryce Young, quarterback out of Alabama, the new, I guess, face of the franchise, if you will. How do you guys feel about Bryce Young being selected number one overall to the Carolina Panthers?
Hopefully they don't play him for a couple years because he's going to get hurt really quickly with that terrible offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they needed the QB, but they needed an O-line more. Like, you build your O-line and then you get your franchise QB. I've said that for years.
Also, who are their offensive weapons?
Well, they just traded DJ Moore away to Chicago, right?
Yeah. So who's their weapons?
To be honest with you, I really do not know.
So they sent this kid out to the sink.
Well, let me go down through and look at the roster real quick. They have Dimitri Bird, DJ Chark, Terrence Marshall Jr., Jonathan Mingo, CJ Saunders, Laviska, Sharon, I want to say that's how it's pronounced.
Jr.
Chenault, there you go. Shy Smith, Adam Thielen, Preston Williams, and Derek Wright.
So they have 2.5 good receivers,
and they still have Chuba Hubbard.
Still have Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
And Miles Sanders, and they picked up Miles Sanders from the Eagles as well.
The Eagles gave him away.
Yeah.
Well, true. I mean, with picking up Bryce Young, I don't think he'll start week one. I think that's probably going to be more than likely, it's probably going to be Andy Dalton that takes the week one snaps.
At this
or
rate,
him or Matt Corral.
At this rate, I just throw him out there. If you want to have Andy Dalton be your fucking one, just throw him out there.
Bryce Young started. Bryce Young's going to be a day one starter there in Carolina.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Andy Dalton's definitely there just in case situation.
Yep.
But they're comparing Bryce Young's, the draft analysts compare him to quote unquote Drew Brees. I don't see it.
I don't see that either.
Yeah, I mean,
just because he's short quarterback, that's about it.
That's way too early to tell. Honest to God, that's way too early to tell. I mean, because you got to understand, like Drew Brees. I mean, Drew Brees did not have a lot of upside coming out of college, and then he ended up becoming one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks to ever play.
Well, it's because he got a cybernetic arm implanted. He was like 4th in the league. With that rotator cuff, and ever since then, that man was throwing 105 mile per hour bullets, or he was just lobbing it over everybody's head.
Pretty much,
every time.
Right. Which he had some good receivers at his disposal too, though. You know, he did have some good receivers out there with him to help. But moving on to the second pick, the Houston Texans take C.J. Stroud, quarterback out of Ohio State. Chip, this is your team. What do you have to say about this one?
I mean, he was projected to go 1 or 2 overall. It was always between him and Bryce Young. I mean, Stroud, if you look at his numbers and everything, he's good. I'm just wondering, like, we didn't have the best offensive line last year, and we only got two offensive linemen in the draft. So I'm just kind of.
Did you guys pick up anybody in free agency yet for him or an offensive line?
Not yet. Yeah.
Well, free agency continues up until training camp, correct?
Free agency continues till the preseason, right?
The preseason. Okay, yeah, preseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, really, the end of preseason.
That's what I'm saying, until the end of preseason.
Yeah. Because they'll be cutting players and then replacing players.
You can pick up players, yeah.
Yeah. Right. The interesting thing that I thought about the CJ Stroud pick was they immediately said he's not a day one starter. He has to earn that position. So there's currently a three-way battle to see who the starting QB in Houston is between Case Keenum, Davis Mills, and CJ Stroud.
My thing is, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Chip, if you had your choice, who would you pick out of that threesome?
I mean, we've seen what Davis Mills has done the last 2 seasons. Case Keenum's serviceable. I think he'll probably end up being the backup. I think Stroud is going to be a day one starter. Because it's not going to be Davis Mills. Anybody with any ounce of cognizism in their brain can tell you that.
So my thing is, was this the QB you wanted for your team, or did you think another quarterback should have been selected?
I was always on the fence between Stroud and Bryce Young.
Also, you got your head coach is D'Amico, right?
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans.
Do we know what kind of offensive scheme he's going to implement yet, or?
No, we do not. That's the thing. He's a defensive minded guy. He's always ran defenses.
This is my wonder, is like, is he making an offensive scheme? Was this a pick for him, or was this a pick the GMs made? As in, they are forcing him to make this quarterback the quarterback for the franchise, or is he selected, like, yeah, I do think I can make this happen with this guy?
See, I'm not sure, because we just got a new offensive coordinator in Bobby Slowick.
Yeah.
Who was the offensive coordinator there in San Francisco. He was the offensive coordinator at the same time that D'Amico Ryan was the defensive coordinator. So this could be a Bobby Slowick pick.
See, because CJ Stroud is more or less a pure pocket passer kind of. I mean, he has mobility. I'm not going to say he's slow, because he's not. But he's a pure pocket passer kind of quarterback. So I was just wondering if that's going to fit. That's the scheme you guys. If you knew that's what the scheme that they were going to go with to begin with, or what? Because I mean, technically, all the guys you have are pocket passers, but does that really work in the NFL today? Just pure pocket passers?
Well, let me interject just one quick thing here, because I'm thinking about it. I think CJ Stroud is a opportunistic scrambler, and what I mean by that is that he will not put himself in harm's way. Like, I mean, you've seen in the several games that you've seen, especially the Georgia game when I think it was the semifinals in the Georgia. I can't remember what bowl game it was, but he showed even in that game that if it's necessary for him to escape and evade, then he can do that. At the same time, though, like, his mindset is always get the ball down the field. And I think that he can. I think that he could elevate the offense that they have in Houston, but like what Chip said a minute ago, man, that offensive line has got to do a good job protecting them, or else it doesn't matter how far he can throw the ball down the field. If he can't get the ball off because he's got defenders in his face, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yep. Also, is Pierce will be back for the season, right? Or near the beginning of the season, or is he going mid-season?
Yeah, so I think they're going to do running back by committee between him and Devin Singletary. because I mean, we have like 6 running backs on our team right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think they're gonna do probably Pierce will be like 1 and 2 down, and Singletary will probably be the 3rd down back.
I don't know.
You can also
go ahead.
I was also going to say, because you can use Singletary and you can also use Pierce for swing passes, because they're good, because both of them can catch the ball too.
Singletary is smaller, so that's my only thing about him being the 3rd down back.
Yeah.
He might be used for like you said, swing plays and out routes and stuff like that. But I think Pierce will probably be your actual 3rd down back.
Right. It'll be interesting to see. I can't wait to see what offensive schemes they're going to run.
Yeah. I also think it's funny that I was going to talk about the next pick, but if you guys want to stay on this one.
No, go ahead. Next
pick, you guys trade also to get they traded away to Arizona, traded away to Arizona to pick up Will Anderson Jr., the edge rusher, probably the best player, in my opinion, probably the best player coming into the draft and coming out of the draft right now.
Yes.
Which obviously signifies that that's the D'Amico Ryan's pick for sure, because he's going to be a day one player immediately.
Absolutely.
Like immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my early pick for defensive player or rookie defensive player of the year.
We'll see. I don't know how the rest of the season is going to go. We'll see what happens. There was a lot of good defensive players in the first round. So
yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think this is the best defensive player.
None of them
best guy coming out of the draft.
I mean, he was projected literally as
number one,
not the number 1 overall pick, but he has always been projected as the number 1 player in this year's draft.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. As an overall player.
Yeah, it's just saying that Carolina didn't need Carolina does need a defensive player, but they didn't pick a defensive player.
Right. Well, he was definitely the best defensive player in the draft. That's no doubt about it.
I don't know him and surprise
Jalen Carter also. Yeah.
Well, no, my surprise is Lucas Van Ness.
Right. Well, we'll get to that here when we get down to 13.
But Chip, go ahead and tell us about your second pick in a row.
Yeah. So I was really shocked when I seen that Houston traded up from 12 to 3, so they got their franchise quarterback and they've got their defensive franchise star back to back. I mean, I love this pick. I like this pick more than I like the Stroud pick.
Makes sense.
And this definitely fits D'Amico Ryans, and he's going to bolster the defense, because you know what they say, defense wins championships. He's going to bolster the defense and make the offense good enough. I mean, we've seen what Bobby Slowick can do already. Mm-hmm. So, Houston came to play this year in the draft for sure.
Absolutely. Now, D'Amico Ryan, was he an edge rusher, or was he just a like standard defensive end, like 4-3 defensive end?
I thought he was a linebacker.
I thought he was an edge rusher. I thought he was a defensive end / edge rusher. That's what I thought.
Edge rushers are technically linebackers. They're also linebackers now.
Technically, yeah. Although some can play defensive end.
Well, I mean, that's what they put. That's why they're an edge rusher, because they play the edge,
right?
The defensive line edge, but they're also able to drop back.
Right.
But I think he was an edge rusher overall. But I mean, for Will Anderson, that's probably the best guy to learn from going into the NFL too.
Yeah.
Not only head coach wise, but positional wise too. Besides, obviously, the guys already on the field that play in the NFL that can tell you the huge difference between college and pro. But, I mean, I think this pick was probably the best pick you guys had. I don't know if the CJ Stroud want to be a good pick or not. I was iffy on it. We'll just have to wait to see about that.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a wait and see. But, yeah, Will Anderson getting picked up at 3. For Houston to trade literally 9 spots to go up to 3 to pick him up. Might be a bold move.
No, it
It's
was smart.
Okay.
No,
I
yeah.
didn't know if it was bold or not because, I mean, you're trading.
He wouldn't have been there at 12.
No.
I know that. I know he wouldn't have been there at 12. But the idea of Arizona saying, yeah, we'll take whatever you got. Like, I mean, because Arizona, they need some defense too, you know, especially with everything going on with Buda Baker leaving and just that whole craziness going on in Arizona. But we'll get to that in just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Houston didn't give up a whole lot. They gave up. They traded the 12th pick in the first round this year, and their second pick or a second round pick this year, so 12th and 33rd overall this year, and then next year a first and third round pick.
Yep. So it's not as deep as like the Ricky Williams trade was from back in the day. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. You know, that way you at least have some draft capital, you know, next year. But moving on to the very next one on the list, the Indianapolis Colts at 4 select that hopefully their quarterback of the future, Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida. How do you guys feel about this pick?
Who's their head coach? I can't remember.
Hold on,
Shane
Steichen? Yeah. He was the Eagles offensive coordinator last year.
Yeah, so he knows how to use. Yeah. I don't want to use the terminology mobile quarterback, but quarterbacks with mobility. Because Jalen Hurts is not a mobile quarterback; he's just able to move, but he can throw the ball too. And I feel like Richardson, but I feel like Richardson's the same. I see him more of not Jalen Hurts because he's bigger than that. I feel him being more like a Josh Allen kind of guy, where he's not going to be afraid to have to drop the shoulder, but also make the smart play down the field if he has to.
Can I make a bold, maybe kind of out there comparison, if it's okay?
Okay.
Does anybody think Steve McNair looking at Anthony Richardson? The body, as far as body type and stuff like that, and the way he can be somewhat mobile but still throw the ball down the field. Do you get that? Do you see the comparison?
I can see it. Wasn't Steve bigger? Wasn't Steve 6'6"?
Steve was bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go with more like a Cam Newton.
Yeah, I can see Cam too.
With passing ability though, better passing ability. Cam in his early days could throw until his body started breaking down on him.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, that's why I said Josh Allen, because it's probably the guy closest to him, height wise. I don't know about weight. I think he might be bigger than Josh Allen, weight wise, but he has the same mentality of he's like I said, he's not afraid to drop the shoulder, but he's always looking downfield.
Right. What about you, Chip? What do you think?
I mean, I like this pick for Indy.
Do you want it for your team?
See, I don't know. Anthony Richardson only played 13 games in college. So there's not a whole lot of tape, which could be great and could be terrible at the same time. Because you can play 13 games and have a great 13 games, but then not play another good game. That's the problem. But Indy definitely needed their franchise quarterback. They tried the Matty Ice experiment, and we all seen where that went.
I think
before that they had Carson Wentz. Before that,
I think the Matty Ice thing was for them they can tank. To be honest,
yeah.
Well, look at the quarterback room. I ain't going to cut you off, Chip, but look at the quarterback room. Anthony Richardson just got drafted. He is sharing a quarterback room with Sam Ehlinger, Gardner Minshew, and Big Dick Nick Foles. That's a collection of quarterbacks.
I think Nick Foles probably gets let go.
Yeah.
You think Nick will be the one to get let go in that situation?
Yeah, that contract.
Yeah. I think Nick will
be
let go.
Yeah, that money.
We'll see.
And they'll keep Minshew, Ehlinger, and Richardson I think Richardson will be the starter. Minshew will probably
be the backup. Yep.
Backup, and then Ellinger will be third string.
And not only that, Nick Foles is way too injury prone.
Yeah.
At this age.
Yeah. Well, how old is Nick Foles? He's 34. Okay, yeah, so he's up there in age as far as quarterbacks go.
So Roger, you were saying you think Anthony Richardson is heavier than Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Is that right? So Anthony Richardson, 244, Josh Allen, 237. So yeah, just a little
bit. He just looks. I guess he looks wider, more like upper body built than Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's also taller.
Yeah, that's why I think it's the weird height discrepancy, like the difference in that, the height and the. Yeah.
Josh Allen's like 6'6" or something like that, isn't he?
6'5".
6 foot close.
According to.
He's definitely bigger than 6'5".
I'm about to say.
According to his Wikipedia profile, he's 6'5".
Yeah.
So, but moving on from the number 4 pick there with Anthony.
But do we think this?
Sorry.
Do we think this pick will help them more, or do we think this was just a grasping pick?
That's the thing, because if you look at their draft this year, they only got 1, 2.
They didn't get a lot because they traded away so much to.
They got 3. Well, they got 3 weapons for. Presumably for Richards to use.
Well, they already have Jonathan Taylor, though.
Right.
I mean, Michael Pittman's good.
Yeah, but he's also iffy on injury and stuff like that.
Yeah, but when he's on.
Oh, when he's on, he's one of the best guys to have out there. But if he's on,
I mean, top 20, wideouts right now.
If he's able to play, but
But that's the thing. They don't really have any receivers.
So they're probably gonna do a bunch of option plays.
Yeah, they just picked up Josh Downs in the draft, and then they have Pittman Jr. if he can stay healthy. And then you have Vincent Smith, who's not terrible, but that's really it. I mean, if you look at their tight ends, the only one they picked up Will Mallory, but then you have Farrell Brown, who was a Texan. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
But
he's
that's
more
it.
A blocker though. I would say he's a blocker more than anything.
That's correct.
But no, I think they're going to do a lot of RPOs. Unfortunately, because of the way they're set up, they do have a better offensive line for him to be protected compared to the first 2 quarterbacks picked. So I mean, he'll have time, but. Like I was asking, well, do you think this was a grasping one, or do you think this was a smart pick for the Colts in this situation?
I think it was a smart pick for them. Clearly, they seen something in Anthony Richardson's that maybe some other people didn't see. I mean, I think Anthony probably went a little higher than he should have personally.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
But I do think I think he should have probably went mid-round. I definitely would have taken him in the first, but I think like mid-first.
But really, who else needed a quarterback at this point? Because I feel like I would say the Titans, but he's pretty much the same as Malik Willis, and we know Vrabel doesn't like Malik Willis. Who is the other
quarterback in this draft that they were talking about?
No, where did Hendon Hooker go to?
Hendon Hooker went to.
Did he even get drafted?
Yes.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker got drafted. Yeah.
Okay.
Hendon Hooker. Here, give me a second.
Lions. Yeah, he could have gone to Lions.
Detroit. Yeah.
He could have gone to Detroit.
Yeah.
That's about the only other team really I could see him. Detroit or I think you tell him when we were talking about the draft, you talked about potentially Raiders getting another quarterback behind Jimmy G.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Which I did the Raiders pick a quarterback this year? Or did they not? Let me go
If
through
they
here
did, it was
real
deep.
quick.
Yeah, if they did, it was deep. It wasn't.
Okay, let's see. Carolina, Texans, Colts, Titans, Lions, Saints, Rams, Raiders.
They did in the first.
They took it in the 4th round.
Okay.
At pick 135, Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just saying they picked a quarterback.
I mean, in the 4th round, I guess it suffice.
Yeah.
That's a backup quarterback. He even has a generic backup quarterback name.
O'Connell. Yeah. Yeah. What's your last name? O'Connell. Yeah, you definitely back up.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
This one might be the most wait and see situation. A whole new system, a whole new quarterback with a whole new play style than what the Colts have done in the last, I don't know, 40, 50 years maybe. So really the biggest wait and see. He may be the biggest surprise, or he may be just a middling kind of guy. But I guess we can move on to the next pick of the draft.
Yes, the Seattle Seahawks taking Devin, however it's pronounced, Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of the University of Illinois.
Yep.
Seattle definitely does need defensive help. How do you guys feel about this pick?
I feel like they should have gone with a defensive end or defensive lineman. Sorry.
Yeah.
More.
Well, we all thought Tyree Wilson was going to get picked up here, didn't we?
I felt like he should have.
Right.
Or Jalen Carter. Sorry.
Yeah, or Jalen Carter. Yeah.
Yeah,
but at this point, we already thought Jalen Carter would have been taken beforehand.
Yeah. But no, we know how good Pete Carroll is with defensive backs. So it doesn't surprise me that they bolstered the defensive backs, especially since they have an aging one. Get some youth out there. I mean, they got Tariq Woolen last year, so they're going for a young. Maybe they're setting up Legion of Boom 2.
Legion of Boom 2, The Revenge.
Or the what were the name? The Road Warriors. What could we?
What could be?
What could we get? Instead of Legion of Doom, Legion of Boom, Road Warriors. The Drone Warriors. I don't know.
Drone Warriors. It's crazy.
But no, I'm iffy on the pick. I feel like they should have gone defensive lineman to help out on that line, or even surprisingly thing they've needed for a decade, an offensive line. But fuck that. Who needs that? We have Geno Smith. But
right.
Also a receiver, maybe. I mean,
well, they still have Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, right?
Tyler Lockett's very injury prone now, though. Yeah. And Metcalf, well, they did give him the extension. I was going to say he's in that 5th year potentiality, but I think they give him an extension, so he's staying there. I just feel like they need a slot receiver. They need to take pressure off of DK because Tyler Lockett's getting hurt too much. Like I said, I felt like Jalen Carter would have been the pick here for them, the smartest one to help out that defensive line to get that pass rushing going, like because they really need that.
Right.
But like I said, they're probably setting up a new version of the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Right. That being said, let's move on to the very next pick. The Arizona Cardinals picking at 6 take Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Smart pick right here. I mean, they do need help with their offensive line. So was this a good pick for them?
Super smart pick. And also probably might be the steal early on.
Yeah, very possible.
There was a lot of great offensive linemen in this draft to begin with. But no, Paris Johnson has good explosiveness and good footwork. He also has what offensive linemen need, which is good hand placement.
Yes.
Because if you can place that hand in the right spot, you can control the guy no matter how strong he is. And from what we saw with him at the time in Ohio State throughout the last season in the playoffs, people weren't getting past him, and Georgia had such a nasty line. So
yeah,
he was able to contain them on his part. His other teammates, but he did his job.
Right, exactly. How do you feel about this one, Chip?
Definitely a smart pick by Arizona. I think they're also going to try to bolster their defense. I mean, they just lost JJ Watt and why am I drawing a blank? Another defensive guy. It's right there.
Was it Jones?
Chandler
Yes.
Jones?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I think
I thought Chandler Jones went to Oakland.
That's what I thought. It was Oakland too. Yeah. But that was last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just lost for them.
Yeah. But no, also speaking of JJ, do you see that him and his wife have become minority owners in Burnley Football Club?
Yeah,
they got promoted up to the top Premier League, which is great because they're actually coached by one of my favorite players, Vincent Kompany, who used to be the center back for Belgium and Manchester City. Very, very cool dude. And I did not think he'd be able to coach his team up that quickly because he just retired a couple years ago.
Hey.
But he's one of those smart. He was always a smart soccer player, so I like him.
But hey, that knowledge to the next generation, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody's getting into buying other sports teams to get more money that way. Ever since they saw what Ryan Reynolds could do.
Yep.
Right. That being said, speaking of Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Raiders select Tyree Wilson, defensive end out of Texas Tech. I think the Raiders got a really good pick here. They did need help on the defense.
Sure did, because it's only Crosby.
Yeah, pretty much. Max Crosby's it on defense right now. How do you guys feel about this pick overall?
That's definitely what they needed. Yet again, I felt like if they were going to go defensive lineman, they should have gone for Jalen Carter, who definitely fits the criteria of a Raider.
Oh, yeah.
Very gritty, ruthless, aggressive guy. He's I'm not saying he's a hoodlum or a thug or anything like that. People don't misconstrue that. Dude's super nice. When they were talking about him doing all the interviews and everything, he was very calm, cool, very polite. But you gotta have that kill switch when you go on the field because you're literally fighting a guy as big or bigger than you, and when you're 250 plus pounds, it's kind of scary.
Right.
Exactly. I definitely think this was a bet. Like what you said just a second ago, Max Crosby's pretty much all the Raiders have right now on the defense. So him coming in, will he be offset to Crosby so that there's a dual threat on either side of the line? I think that would probably be the best place for him to fit. To be honest. But moving on from this one, I know Chip wants to talk about this one. The Atlanta Falcons with the 8th overall pick select Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas. They had this guy at every mock draft that I've seen going into the draft this year had Bijan Robinson taken somewhere between 19 and 24, around that age or around that range. And he ends up going number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. How do you guys feel about this pick overall?
I don't understand it.
Okay.
They just got Tyler Agio last year and they have Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, but so the thing with Bijan Robinson is he's an every down back, and he's a shifty back. Like, think of Derrick Henry, but being able to move left and right, not just forward.
Also he can catch.
Yeah, also Bijan can catch.
Yes.
So I do think that Bijan is a day one starter for Atlanta, and I think he's going to help Ritter a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why the Atlanta Falcons can't be competitive. Honestly, you have
they're the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, bad management.
Take the name, take all the Arthur Blank, take all that bullshit aside. Just look at the talent that they have on the field that they have. Okay, Desmond Ritter he's coming into his second season. He's got them rookie jitters, away. You just picked up Bijan Robinson.
How many games did Ritter play? Like start? I mean, not play with start.
3, I think.
Yeah.
I think he started 3. He came in, so 3.5 games.
Okay.
But Drake London is getting better.
He started 4 games last season.
4
and
games,
2-2.
Okay.
Yeah. So Drake London is getting better. If Kyle Pitts can just get out of his own head, I mean, you were the 4th overall pick in the draft that you was in. You were the highest taken tight end in the history of the draft. You need to produce more than what you've been producing. And they do have. They got Zach Wright.
I don't think that's on him though. That offensive scheme was not set for him to be the main receiver.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that he needs to at least. I'm not saying that he didn't put forth the effort because you're in the NFL. You got to put forth the effort. But I'm just saying.
Marcus Russell.
Yeah, fuck him. No, but I'm just saying, man. If Desmond Ritter's got to get Kyle Pitts more involved in the offense by hook or crook, and that defense is also got to be elevated enough as well. But I think that aside from them being the Falcons, there's no reason why. And they just signed. They signed Calais Campbell. They signed a hell of a lot of players. Like Atlanta's really truly looking to be competitive this season in the NFC South. I don't know if I'll go as far as to say they'll win it, but I think they'll be at least competitive.
They have a chance to be the 2nd seed.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't see them being competitive because they have the same offensive coordinator that they had last year, and he's going to run them same bum-ass schemes that he ran last year.
Yep. Their offense was trash. And it wasn't for the lack of potential and players, because they had on paper they had a great team last year.
That's what I'm saying. On paper, they should be at least an above 500 team, right? On paper,
possibly. On paper, yes. On paper, for sure. On paper, they should definitely be above 500. But I mean, the same bum running the same plays, and just a new toy.
Yep.
They're gonna just run him ragged.
Same head coach in Arthur
Smith.
So I don't know. I would like to see the Falcons be competitive again, but I don't have high hopes sitting here today.
He's got
high hopes.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
I mean, if you really think about it, the whole NFC South is mid, to be honest.
That's what I said. They have the potential to be the 2nd best team.
Who would you have? Would you put Carolina up there to get to with a young quarterback, or would you say that the Saints are Saints still?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either going to be the Saints or the Bucs at the number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know who's the Bucs quarterback.
Baker.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they're definitely winning that shit easily. That's their.
I don't know. I don't know, man. They've been cleaning the house. They've been cleaning the house too.
Baker,
so I mean, who
Mayfield.
knows? All right, we'll see what happens.
He's giving out concussions to his own linemen. This
motherfucker. All right. So moving on to number 9. The Philadelphia Bulldogs select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia, which is like the 30th Georgia player that they have on their team. That's like the meme of the week. Taking Jalen Carter at number 9. How do you guys feel about this pick at number 9?
So like everybody's making this like, oh, they picked all the Georgia people. The fuck, why not? They won 2 national championships back to back. Why would I not take their players?
Exactly.
Right. They have chemistry together and they have a winning mentality. That's what I want on my championship caliber team.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, hey, Philadelphia, y'all came to win in the draft. Y'all want that championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I think they were the smartest picking team in the draft.
They really were. Howie Roseman did a damn good job.
And the fact that Jalen Carter fell to them was just like,
that's insane.
It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, everybody's like, oh, he's got all these issues, off-field issues. Yeah, he was involved in an incident. The man, he was a young kid, made a mistake. Obviously, it cost lives. You think he ain't regretful about that shit? Come on.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's what you're gonna hold on him instead of. Here's my thing. Y'all took y'all was cool with other people doing other shit, beating their wives and everything in the elevator and whatnot. Y'all was cool with that, or taking advantage of girls in the bar. Y'all was cool with that. The kid, hey, y'all ain't cool with this kid? Come on, man. This motherfucker knows what he's doing. the two-time national champion, and he's ruthless. Y'all just gave the Eagles.
Yes,
y'all gave the Eagles the best option to win that championship right now. He's gonna have all his teammates from before, and he's gonna have a good mentor in Fletcher Cox. Come on.
Exactly.
So if you look at Philadelphia's entire draft, their whole draft, except for one pick, was defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, two. I'm sorry. No. Yeah, all but one.
Yeah.
So.
And they took 3 players from Georgia in that draft.
And 2 in the first round, but we'll get to the other guy in a second.
Yeah,
yep.
we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to the other guy.
But no, this is stupid that he fell this far. Why would you give a championship team better weapons early on? Like that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Every mock draft that I've seen heading into, again, this upcoming season had Arizona picking him at 3. Of course, we didn't know that Arizona was going to make the trade with the Texans at this point. But yeah, we
could have still got him at 6.
Yeah, they could have still got him at 6, which
could have.
I mean, they took the offensive lineman. So I mean,
which smart on there. That was a more dire need, is to further that offensive capability if they truly believe in Kyler. I guess. I mean, hey, Call of Duty Season 3's out right now. I don't know what he's doing, but
hey, man,
he might be doing that new challenge right now. So who knows?
Hey, man. But sweet. Yeah, I think Jalen Carter was definitely the steal of the first 10 picks. Obviously, I mean, he dropped that far down in Philadelphia because think about it. Jalen Carter is going to the reigning defending NFC champions instead of playing in Arizona. I think he definitely won this more than
instead of playing Arizona, instead of playing Seattle, Arizona,
and San Francisco,
Vegas, or Atlanta.
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous.
Man, it's crazy. And Atlanta, Vegas could have definitely. I would have took Jalen Carter over Tyree Wilson, but then again, I had the Raiders taking a backup to Jimmy G, but that's for a different discussion. But moving on, at the number 10 pick, the Chicago Bears select Darnell Wright, offensive tackle from the University of Tennessee. How do you guys feel about this pick?
I think it's great. It's smart as shit. That's proven to me that they do believe in bolstering their offense for Justin Fields, but also trying to protect him.
Yes.
And Darnell Wright was also a smart pick because, I mean, for what he did for Tennessee and protecting Hendon Hooker, I mean, that's one of the best guys just right there to begin with. He can definitely go on either left or right. I believe he played both positions.
I think he's better playing. I think he's better playing blindside, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, it depends on what they want to do with him. He had 0 blown blocks on 388 designed run plays last season.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, played it all the time.
That's like Jonathan Ogden numbers right there.
Yeah, like that man. That's a guy that doesn't need more coaching, but needs to just have like the little minor things here and there just better like shifted on him.
Direction.
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for, direction.
Well, I was gonna say like potentiality, but I was like, no, I don't think he's gonna need help reaching his potential. It's just more like just helping him learn the pacing of the NFL.
Right. Week 1 starter?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm about to say yes.
Who did he have on that offensive line that could start over him? Who is on that offensive line?
I don't even know. To be completely honest with you, I really don't know.
Larry Borum, Tyree Carter, Nate Davis, Kellen Deesh, Dieter Etchlin, Tevin Jenkins, Braxton Jones, Doug Kramer, Alex Leatherwood, Lucas Patrick, Cody Whitehair, and then Darnell Wright.
Yeah, he's definitely a day one starter.
Yeah,
he's definitely day one starter. Yes.
Yeah. And the other, so they have him listed as just a tackle. The other tackles are Alex Leatherwood, Braxton Jones, Kellen Deach, and Larry Borum. So he's definitely a day one starter.
Yeah, it just depends on what side they want to put him on.
It'll probably be him and Leatherwood, probably.
Maybe I feel like that's the right pick. It just, like I said, it depends on if they want him left side or right side. Obviously, you would want him on the blind side to protect your quarterback better. But we'll see how the offseason or quote unquote offseason and preseason go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But speaking of offensive tackles, at number 11, the Tennessee Titans select Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle out of Northwestern. How do you guys feel about this one?
He's obviously the Titans do need offensive lineman help. It just depends on who they want to start as their quarterback. But I don't know. I don't know if this would have been the one, him, or I probably would have gone myself with another pick. But I mean, hey, Vrabel might like him, so they just went with him. So who knows? He's definitely a day one starter, though.
Yeah,
Chip.
I mean, they do need the help because, I mean, is Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, or the new quarterback going to be the starter? We don't know. So they definitely need help there. Because their other tackle, well, they selected 2 tackles in this draft. They also got Jalen Duncan, who played football at Maryland. So maybe both of those guys are day one starters, because last season their tackles were not good.
They weren't at all. That being said, though, let's move on to the next pick. The Detroit Lions at 12 pick Jahmyr Gibbs, running back out of Alabama. How do you guys feel about this one?
Why?
Doesn't make sense at all.
Why?
The Lions were making last year. Who did I tout the most of any team last year?
The Lions. Other than the Broncos, the Lions.
The Lions for sure. And I was like, they're doing smart things. They're finally getting the pieces together they need and everything like that. And I said, coming up to the draft, like, man, they're gonna have so much potential to get more defensive linemen and get some defensive backs and everything like that. And they pick a fucking running back. Not only did they pick a fucking running back, they traded away their best running back on their team to the Eagles.
You talking about Swift, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Not only did they pick up one running back, they picked up 2 running backs in the draft.
I didn't even realize that. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they picked up Muhammad Ibrahim.
That's right. I do remember that.
Wow. Yeah.
So explain that to me. I'm assuming that Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna be their starter, because if you look at everybody else that's on there,
they have Williams still.
I thought they still had Williams.
Yeah.
Nope. Their running backs are Greg Bell, Jason Kabinda, Jahmyr Gibbs, Muhammad Ibrahim, Jamar Jefferson, David Montgomery, and Craig Reynolds.
So it'd be David Montgomery, Gibbs, and Abraham will be their 3 committee.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, time out.
What?
Where did Jamal Williams go?
Hopefully the Dolphins.
He's an unrestricted free agent that signed.
No, he's not.
He's Saints. An unrestricted free agent who has agreed to terms with the Saints.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just looked at it.
Yeah.
Saints.
He hasn't signed anything. He's still technically an unrestricted free agent.
Gotcha. I still don't understand how that works.
I don't think
the restricting, unrestricting. Like I still don't.
Unrestricted means that they don't have a team option at all. They have their own player option.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Restricted means it's a team option and they have to match the offer.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the restriction is that the team owned you for another year, possibly. Unrestricted means you own your own option ability.
Yeah. Says here, Jamal Williams is a self-described nerd for anime, video games, and cosplay.
Yeah.
His three favorite animes are One Punch Man, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, did you not see his like the things like they do where like they announce themselves? This man literally said he was from the Hidden Leaf Village. He was a Konoha from Konoha. He was a Hokage. Had the fucking headband during some of those. But that
No,
dude's
the
a
fuck.
super. Yes.
Yeah,
He
I've
did.
never seen that. I've
Yeah.
never seen that. Send that to me in the chat or something. I've
I
never
will.
seen that. I've never
Yeah.
seen
He
that.
announced
Like he
himself from
has the
Konoha and
headband
everything.
on and
Yes, he had
everything.
the headband
Holy
on.
shit! Shit. Oh, wait, that's a different message. Never mind. I thought you sent it quick. That's big.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But yeah, the Lions taking a running back here is it was.
I mean, I guess they
mind-boggling.
needed it, but
Did they though?
What?
a running back.
Did they need a running back though? The
I
Lions?
mean,
The Lions? I mean, no, definitely they didn't because they had Swift going to be their one and Montgomery going to be their second. But they gave away Swift to the Eagles, which is so what's the one thing the Eagles really like? The consistent run game. Hey, let's give them a running back.
exactly.
And that's a team, if you do have plans to at least get to the NFC Championship game, that's probably the team you're going to face.
Yeah, I know. Like that's
it's like there's like trading within your own division's fucked up enough, but when you trade in your own conference to a team that you could possibly meet in the postseason, if you make it to the postseason, like, come on, man.
like not even that. Like you're giving away you're giving a championship caliber team another good player. Like
Yeah.
What is the who? I remember back in the day where people tried to make sure you didn't get a good player. Now we're just giving them away. Like what the hell's going on?
The Lions would have benefited far more greatly if they selected this next pick
Yes,
at
this
number
is who I thought they
13,
were
going to
get.
Green Bay, Lucas Van Ness, defensive end out of Iowa. He was right there. You could have taken him.
Like
Right
you would have Hutchison on one side and Van Ness on the other
Van
side.
Ness on the other side.
And Van Ness ran what, like a 4.3, 4.4, 50 or 40?
I think it was a 4.36 or 4.37, something like this.
Like,
some ridiculous number for a fucking
This dude
lineman.
is 6'5" and 270 pounds, and he's running 4.4 or under on the other side. Go ahead.
His 40 was a 4.5.
A 4.5. Oh,
Yeah.
the official one, yeah, because the unofficial one he ran a 4. I think it was a 4.42.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a 4.3, but hey.
I mean, 4.42, you can round that to a 4.3.
But
yeah.
dude, like this is stupid.
But still a big motherfucker running fast at you, though.
No,
Right.
I'm saying like the Lions, like I was touting them so much, and I had so much expectations for them this season. I was like, yeah, gonna get to that playoff and actually do something. Let's give away our running game and pick up a bunch of running backs instead of bolstering our defense and helping Hutchison out and getting the defensive back to actually help our defensive backs because we don't got any.
Yeah, because now Lucas Van Ness is now playing in Green Bay.
In your same division, like geez.
Same division, bro.
Yep.
Jared Goff's about to be fucking unhappy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll look at it this way. At least with Green Bay, you don't have to worry about, Aaron Rodgers coming in there and, diving it
No,
up.
you got the best quarterback in the league now. You got Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. There you go.
Woo.
We'll see how it works out. Those are Rodgers' words, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
leave
it's
your
not.
hate mail in the comment.
No, it's not.
But no, anyway, Lucas Van Ness to the Packers, man. How do you guys feel about it?
He was a super surprised in the combine. Like
Yeah.
I did not know this dude
Yeah.
was that fast or that strong. Like he's a defensive lineman. You know he's gonna be strong, but damn, that explosive speed that he has too. That's unfair.
Like
you shouldn't be that big and be able to outrun people half your size.
Right.
Like this
What say
man's
you,
got
Chip?
fucking DK
Okay.
Metcalf speed.
Yeah, that's
Right.
speed, right? Yeah. Go ahead, Chip. What were you gonna say?
I mean, good for the Packers.
Right. Right. But moving on there, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 14, they select Broderick Jones, offensive tackle out of the University of Georgia. How do you feel about this one?
Good for them.
Great for them. That's who I thought the Titans were actually going to pick.
That's who I thought the Titans were going to pick too.
They're helping out the young quarterback in Mitch Trubisky. So
Oh shit!
They paying him all that money for what?
To be a
Suck.
backup.
The thing is, he didn't suck. That offense was horrible. He had no option.
What's his excuse in Chicago then?
They had no options.
Don't defend this man. Don't you?
So Nagy was a great head coach. I shit on him a lot. I'm allowed to defend him when it comes to actually being honest about what happened to him. Because Matt Nagy was such a great head coach and had the best calls and the best offensive scheme setups, right?
Hey, he's a former coach of the year. I can't really say nothing.
I mean, you can be a coach of the year and still suck balls.
Well, that's true.
Because, I mean, how many times did Belichick win coach of the year, and where's he at now?
3. Yeah, he won coach of the year 3 times. They ought to rename that award. They ought to rename that award to, hey, best new coach that actually did good with a team that we thought was going to suck. I mean, that's probably what the award is.
That literally is what had coach of the year.
That's it. I mean, that's it.
Unless you're Belichick and get 3 of them randomly.
Right. But come on, back during that time, man, when did we think New England was going to suck? I mean,
every year I hoped for it.
I prayed for it too. Yeah.
You definitely had to.
I had to.
Speaking of teams that you love, next pick, go ahead, Talon.
Fuck the Jets. Next pick at number 15, the New York Jets select Will McDonald, the 4th defensive end out of Iowa State. As if they didn't already have a fucking stout defense already, you bringing another fucking stout defensive player. How do you guys feel about this pick, the Jets picking up McDonald?
I mean, I feel bad for you guys because they're literally building that defense up. They have such a good young defense. They disappeared the last 5 games of the season, but
consistency is going to have to be a big factor for him this upcoming season.
Well, I mean, they'll have the best quarterback in the league right now, Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you were about to say Mr. Trubisky.
Wow.
But no, I agree with you on that one. They're gonna have a douchebag out there yelling at them. But here's the thing: they're gonna get plenty of time on the field because he's either gonna score quickly or he's gonna have an interception. So,
well, let me ask you this question since we're on the subject of that.
Of
and for the many people, well, yes,
or scoring quickly.
Let me get it out while I'm thinking about it, assholes. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, for many people that know, Aaron Rodgers has been talked about in the media a lot. People have called him a diva, blame deflector, and
don't forget drug addict. Don't forget drug addict.
It's psychedelic. It don't count. But
okay,
definitely fucking count.
I'll stop. I'm sorry. Anyway, so he could probably get away with some of the shit that he got away with in Wisconsin. But now he's in this New York media market and everything is going to be scrutinized to the 10,000th degree at this point. You think Aaron Rodgers could be able to handle the type of coverage now that he's going to get as the quarterback of the New York Jets?
No, you see how ruthless I am when I talk about him. He don't have a whole stadium of that.
Oh, God. And beat writers, reporters, magazine articles, it's going to be... Fuck it. It's going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to the shit show, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be a shit show.
It is going to be a shit show, but I also think that Aaron Rodgers is much of a diva and all that as he is. He's going to do something with that team, and they'll probably be the second best team in that division.
Oh, he's definitely going to make him competitive. I'm never taking away from his talent.
They'll be the third best team in that division. I'm still putting the Dolphins over them.
I can't put the Dolphins over them with Tua right now. His health
it won't be Tua. It won't be Tua.
His health is too wishy-washy.
You think Mike White's going to end up being thrown in there at some point? Mike White, that's the backup quarterback in Miami.
I thought it was still Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater's out. Our current quarterback
never mind,
is.
Yeah, it's Tua, Skylar Thompson, and Mike White.
Never mind. All right, second best team, the Jets.
I mean,
unfortunately, unless Mac Jones and Zappe pick it up.
I think Zappe could possibly. You know what? We'll get to that in a minute.
Next
But
pick.
moving on, next pick at pick number 16, the Washington Commanders select Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State. How did you guys feel about this pick?
Smart, but not smart at the same time. Because they do need to bolster their defense, obviously their defensive backs. But you have this guy who's super small, 6'1", 166 pounds in the NFL. You think he's gonna be able to guard big boys out there on the outside now in the NFL?
It's gonna be a difficult task.
And what happens if he gets stuck on the inside guarding tight end like Andrews or Kelsey if they ever run into each other or anything like that?
That's gonna probably be the matchup that they look for.
Yeah,
often than not.
he's going. Like that's Darren Waller. I mean, Darren Waller's gonna eat that kid alive.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think they took the wrong corner here, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I don't know about the wrong corner because I mean I don't really like any of the corners that were in this draft to begin with. Really,
Emmanuel Forbes reminds me of a guy that Houston drafted a few years back in the name of Kevin Johnson. He was right around the same size, 6 foot, 180 pounds, and they put him out there, and he was considered a ball hawk as well. He became, starting cornerback, and he played hard, but he was very injury prone because he was so much smaller than the guys he was going up against. And I feel like Emmanuel Forbes Jr. is going to have the same problem.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna. I mean, he's gonna get tested definitely. But moving on to the very next pick at number 17, the New England Patriots pick up Christian Gonzalez, cornerback out of Oregon. So what now?
I just hit my hand. You're good.
Oh, okay. What y'all think of Christian Gonzalez at this pick for the Patriots?
Touted as the should have been considered the number one corner or defensive back. I don't see him being what everybody's touting him as. He went 2 complete seasons with no interceptions in college, but he had 4 last season, so that they all automatically boost him up. I'm like, okay, congrats, you had a season. He's not consistent, and he's small.
So he didn't have 4 last year, Roger. He had 3.
God, it's worse.
Yeah. So here's the thing. He was named first team All Pac-12 after recording 45 tackles, 7 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. If that's what you have to do to be considered first team All Pac-12, that division is garbage.
Well, we know Pac-12 is not known for defense at all, which is why I think. Yeah. Well, that's why I don't think he's. That's why I thought it was weird that they considered him to be the number one corner going into the draft. When he was worse than Forbes. Ford had 13 interceptions the last 3 years. He had more interceptions his college career than Christian did over here. He is smaller. They're the same height, but he is a little bit smaller. But essentially, you're picking tomato, like between them, because they both played in divisions that weren't. I mean, Forrest played in the SEC, but they played for Mississippi State. So,
yeah. Normally, when people think of like big time defensive conferences, when you think of the big defensive conferences, 9 times out of 10, you're thinking SEC or you're thinking Big Ten. Big 12 does have. Big 12 is definitely known for. Texas always had. Definitely Penn State's Big Ten, but they definitely have they've been considered linebacker university because they've had so many good linebackers come out of Penn State, and of course USC's good at producing like quarterbacks and wide receivers. Defensively, and running backs. Defensively, other than Brian Cushion, Ray Magliuliuta, and God, who was that other linebacker that they had? It was Cushing, Magliuta, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. But I mean, they do produce some good defensive players every once in a while, but it's very few and far between what a Pac-10 players. Which hell, is it even called the Pac-10 anymore? Because they got like 16 teams in it now.
It's Pac-12.
No, it's Pac-12.
Pac-12. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Pac-12. Well, even then, should it even be the Pac-12? It's got more than 12 teams in it now.
I mean, the Big Ten has more than 10 teams.
It should be something different too. I agree. Big 12 still 12 teams though, right? Or is it got more teams now?
I think they're actually 8 teams.
Yeah, because Texas and Oklahoma and all them are moving to the SEC next year, correct?
Well, there's Texas and Oklahoma, but I think other teams are moving to the Big 10.
Yeah.
So are they dissolving the Big 12?
No, they're adding some teams.
Some minor teams.
Yeah, I just can't think of who.
Probably Houston or somebody like that.
SMU. Let's just bring them back to
SMU. Yeah, bring back SMU. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. But no,
Pony Express.
So Tal, since this is your second team, what do you think about this pick for the Patriots?
Well, I mean, if there's one thing, I mean, New England's always had good defensive backs. I mean, because you think of New England, you think of Ty Law, you think of Rodney Harrison, more recently Patrick Chang, Devin McCourty, Malcolm Butler. So they not Malcolm. I was fixing to say Malcolm Jenkins, but Malcolm Jenkins I don't think ever played for the Patriots. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good because I feel like Belichick actually knows how to structure the defensive backs a little bit more because he was a defensive coordinator under Bill Parcells, if I'm not mistaken. So he definitely has the cachet to figure out defenses and things of that nature. So I think he'll fit in perfect. I think he'll fit in pretty good. I think. But again, 6'1", not that impressive, in size, but hopefully his speed and ball hawking skills can make up for it.
What ball hawking skills? The man had no pass breakups and 3 interceptions.
I'm just saying it situational. That's all I'm saying. But that being said, let's go to Roger's second favorite team, the Detroit Lions, at the number 18 pick, picking Jack Campbell, linebacker out of Iowa. That's 2 Iowa players selected in the first 18 picks of the draft. How do you guys feel about this pick, Jack Campbell going to Detroit?
See, they could have had Lucas Van Ness and also Jack Campbell in back-to-back picks, but no, they went with a running back. I think this is smart for them. I say they need to bolster the defense a little bit more. They're helping Malcolm Rodriguez out there in the line. He's a left outside linebacker, so Jack Campbell's going to be an inside linebacker helping out that middle. I just feel like if they were able to get Van Ness, they would have had probably a great front four on the defensive scheme and put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks, especially since they have an opportunity to have been the divisional champions. But no, right. Fuck them. They don't want me to be all that support for nothing.
Chip.
I mean, I think this was definitely a good pick for them because they do need linebackers, but I agree with Roger. They could have had Lucas Van Ness and Jack Campbell, because if they would have taken Van Ness at 12, I still think that Campbell would have been there at 18 for them to take.
For sure. I also think Gibbs would have been in second round or later. Like they jumped way ahead on him.
Definitely.
Gibbs could have been a second rounder, absolutely. Moving on to the next pick at number 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Calijah. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Calijah Kancey, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. How do you guys feel about this?
I think it's Calijah.
Calijah, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's Calijah.
Calijah Kancey, defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh.
Super smart pick for them.
Yep. They need a little better on their defense. So I think this is definitely smart for them.
He ran the fastest 40-yard dash for defensive tackle at this combine.
Yeah.
So he's got tons of speed. He's obviously it's a good run defender. He can be good pass rusher, but I think his best thing is stuffing the inside more. So, I mean, that's pretty much what he's got to do anyways, because he's going to be a defensive tackle. But no, for a team that's falling apart heavy, no, I think this is a smart pick for them.
Right. I think it's a smart pick too.
Yep.
All right. So moving on to number 20, the Seattle Seahawks take Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Njigba. Yeah.
Is that not what I said?
No.
What did I say?
Yeah, you said Nigba.
Yeah.
Ninjigba. That's what I said.
No, it's in Jigba.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
No, you keep saying the N first, not you're saying N instead of in, like inside.
Yeah, there's an I. There's an imaginary I in front of the N.
Yeah. You're saying it like nah, like n first instead of in.
Okay, Njigba.
Yes.
Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yes.
Wide receiver from Ohio State. How do y'all feel about this pick?
Great pick for them.
Yep. You can definitely put him in the slot or actually move Tyler Lockett to a slot and make him your outside guy across from Metcalf. He's super fast and smart on the field.
Would you put him at slot?
I said you could either put him on slot or move Tyler Lockett to the slot and put him outside.
Yeah.
Would that be a whole lot better?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have a great option there.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I will say that Smith-Njigba is used to running out of the slot. And so they'll probably use him there more often. He's super smart, great route runner. I'm really shocked that he dropped to 20 because some of these other teams do need wide receiver help. To see him, who arguably the best wide receiver in the draft, drop to 20 when there were teams that needed receivers. It's great for the Seahawks.
It's super, like we said, super smart pick. Definitely a needed weapon. Interchangeable with Tyler Lockett, but no, especially since he's like you said, he's a smart route runner, so he understands zones, defenses, and where to sit. So I think he should definitely be a slot receiver. But the Seahawks offense is not a traditional offense, so they're able to sort of do weird things that work. But yeah, this was definitely a super smart pick. And I guess since you're saying with Geno, they're really trying to bolster and to give him another option since they only really had two options, and Tyler Lockett gets hurt a lot.
Yep,
exactly. So that is definitely going to help out Geno a lot.
Yep.
The next pick was supposed to be the Miami Dolphins picking at 21, but instead the owner, Stephen Ross, is a gigantic twat waffle. So we move on to number 21, going to the Los Angeles Chargers, who take Quentin Johnston, wide receiver out of TCU. How do you guys feel about this one?
I think this is another smart pick. The Chargers needed some more help
healthy.
Need some youth on that in that receiving core.
Well, just need a guy who's going to be healthy.
Yes,
but him and Mike Williams are going to be like the tallest receiving duo out there.
Yeah.
But no,
Quentin Johnson is 6'3". Yeah, Quentin Johnson
6'3" and 208. You only have a hard time taking him down, defensive backs.
Right.
But no, it's super smart. Like definitely, like we've been saying, they're definitely building their future. Last year they got offensive tackles to help out Herbert. This year they got more offensive weapons to help him out, especially like you said with the aging receiving core that they had. But no, and Eckler also came out and had a great year, so they have the running back.
Yep.
I don't. But is Austin Eckler going to be there though? Because wasn't there a rumor that he was going to be that he was asking for a trade?
Yeah, you can ask for a trade all you want.
I mean, that's a good point.
You under contract.
That is true.
You want to Le'Veon Bell yourself? Go ahead. Go play for the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
how'd that work out for him?
Exactly.
How'd that work out for him?
That's what I was just fixing to say. We've seen how that worked out for Le'Veon Bell. He's now doing MMA.
Is he?
Getting dropped. No, he's dropping Adrian Peterson. But no, super smart pick.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
And this is a big receiver. Like he's gonna be trouble. Which they really needed in that division anyway. So maybe like I said last year, we could be the best division this year instead of being the fucking NFC East somehow. I don't
right.
Just so confused by that.
See what happens. But moving on from there, the Baltimore Ravens at number 22 select Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. How do you guys feel about this pick?
Great slot receiver for them.
Yep, great pick for them, especially with them bringing Lamar back, picking up OBJ.
Overpaying for OBJ.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they
15 million.
Yeah. But that Ravens receiving core is deep, though. Like, I mean, it's really, I mean,
it is now.
But I'm saying, I mean, you got Nelson, No Hands Aguilar, Rashad Bateman.
We can't call him that anymore because last year he was a good receiver. He finally caught passes.
Okay. One hand
Occasional hand
Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyreek Black, Shamar Bridges. They still got Devin Duvernay. They got Mike Thomas. They still have James Prochet. I'm sorry.
I don't think he'll be there anymore.
You don't think he'll be there?
Not with Zay Flowers being picked up.
Yeah, and they still got Mark Andrews. They still got a top 5 tight end, so they still, have weapons. It's just trying to contain Lamar and say, hey, listen.
So the Ravens
run when you need to, just get the ball down the fucking field,
So in 2022, the Ravens only had 124 receptions for the season.
Yeah. Yep.
There are wide receivers that get that one wide receiver can get that in a season. Crazy.
Odell Beckham and Nelson Aguilar will probably pair for that because they're both injury prone and older. Zay Flowers is definitely going to release pressure for both of the guys. They'll probably line them up on the same side with Odell because they both have that speed. As long as Odell doesn't tear his ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus again.
Right.
Nelson Aguilar will see. Like my thing is, like they have 3 guys that are deep threats. I guess Rashad Bateman might become their inside guy. I mean, Zay Flowers probably instead of making them go deep route, they'll just do the inside routes more.
Yeah. But I think Devin Duvernay is probably going to be on more kickoff returns and punt returns. I think is what his role is probably going to be this upcoming season. Maybe throw him in there on maybe throw him in there on like a certain maybe trip packages or something like that. But
I think it'll be shotgun 5 outs because their running back committee's not really that great either.
I mean, all they have is J.K. Dobbins. That's it.
Yep, exactly.
And he's coming off injury, so
yeah. But no, I think Zay Flowers is really great, especially going to be in the middle. They say he's going to be a deep ball threat, but with him being the slot guy, I don't really see that happen. I think he's going to be the check down guy who's going to get you yards after catch. He's going to get them the chunk yards for you, which you need, which Baltimore needs. You have to extend those plays.
I agree to a point because Cooper Kupp was a slot guy, and look what he did.
Yeah, he was a slot guy because he's 5'4".
But look what he did. I'm just saying, look what he did.
I know. He did. He produced, but I mean, how often does that happen from a slot guy?
He may be the anomaly. He may be the once in a lifetime, but it's possible.
It is. No, I'm saying Zay Flowers should be. He should be a deep threat, but I think he'd be better being your inside guy to get the chunk yards,
get the check down.
Be your Edelman, Wes Welker guy.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, because Lamar definitely needs help inside the middle. Because if you're gonna have 2 deep guys like Nelson and OBJ, if he ever doesn't blow his legs out,
right?
Yeah,
right. With Bateman probably being that third.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, he'll be your other wide out. Probably more of your end around kind of guy too.
Right,
so
exactly.
You had me guessing over here on Cooper Cup. That man is not 5'4".
I know he's not. No, he's not.
I was like, hold on. I know he looks
like,
short, but I
no,
don't
he's
think
he's
short.
6 foot tall, isn't he?
He's
He's
6'2".
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I know he's
6'2".
tall. It was just, I was just being a douche about that.
I was like,
When are
when
you
I'm
not
sitting
being a
here, like,
douche? I mean,
I was
like no, Cooper Cup's tall, like he is, but no, but he is the anomaly slot receiver that was able to be triple crown.
yeah,
right.
But no, great pickup from the
Ravens.
The Ravens who are scheming us to thinking they want to be championship contenders. Let's see how the season goes, because they signed Lamar, they signed OBJ, Nelson Aguilar, they picked up another offensive weapon. They feel like they're presented to us like they want to help Lamar out, but are they actually going to help Lamar out?
Right.
You're still in the same division as the Cincinnati Bengals, and Cincinnati's on fire right now, dude.
Yeah, but they also give up 476 sacks a season.
But they have winning seasons. It is what it is.
Hey, how far until Burrow breaks his leg again?
Hey, I don't wish that on any man.
I don't either. But
I mean, that being
said,
it does. It happens. But moving on to the next pick in the draft at number 23, the Minnesota Vikings select Jordan Addison, wide receiver from USC. I think he'll be a good compilation to Justin Jefferson on the opposite side. I think it'll be a really good pick. I think it's a really good pick. How do you guys feel?
Go ahead.
I was just say so this was the fourth wide receiver in a row taken. I know they need help at the receiver position, but I also think they needed like defensive help as well. So I'm not sure this was a
also
great
running back help because they got rid of Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I'm not sure this was the best pick for them. It might have been the best pick. Did they get rid of Dalvin Cook?
Yeah, I thought Dalvin Cook left. I thought it was money reasons. Let me look up real quick.
Look that up real quick.
According to Wikipedia, he's still on the team.
I think, isn't he going to be a huge cap hit?
He might be.
Yeah, he's scheduled for 14.1 million, so they're trying to offload him.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know anybody else who's going to want to pick up that contract either.
It's not into the contract. The guy that doesn't play a full season.
Yeah.
Right.
So
apparently he was talking to the Dolphins, but they did not want to. So he's owed 14.1 this year and 11 next year. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
I
also think that they would have been good getting a quarterback because Kirk Cousins is getting up there in age.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you. I think they could have gone a different route for sure.
Yeah, he might have been the best guy on the board, maybe, but I just think the team needed different.
The team needed other parts.
Yeah.
So I just felt like he was opposite Justin Jefferson because they just got rid of Adam Thielen. So
yeah, I mean they have KJ Osborne.
Yeah, but KJ, he's up and down, dude. Yeah, KJ Osborne is up and down when it comes to certain things. But moving on from that, Rodgers' second, third, fourth favorite team, the New York Giants, to take Deontay Banks, cornerback out of Maryland. Obviously trying to bolster up the defensive backfield. How'd you guys feel about this one overall?
I think this was a good pick for them.
Definitely, because he's definitely gonna be most likely the number one corner watching for them right now. I know they have Adoree Jackson, but Adoree Jackson is also now injury prone and I don't even think he had an interception last season.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Giants only had 6 interceptions last year, so yeah, they need a guy that is able to. The thing is that Banks is very physical. He's not afraid to press. He will try to hit you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking over their defensive back roster right now. I mean, they got Bobby McCain, they got Trenton Thompson, Terrell Burgess, but none of them. There's no like any big standouts.
No, that's why I say that's why I think Banks will be their number one as soon as he comes in.
Yeah,
right. It only makes sense. But moving on to the 25th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah. I guess to match up on the other side with Dawson Knox and see maybe get a 2 tight end formation going. Who knows? What do you got? How do you guys feel about this one?
Not smart.
Yeah, I don't think this was a good pick for them.
What is the Bills' biggest weakness? Their running game.
Their running game? Yeah.
They got Miles Sanders, but okay. Miles Sanders didn't prove himself well last season. And now he's going to a colder and harder, well, I'll say harder, but he's going to a colder area and a division whose defenses are better.
Yeah, now they did pick up James Cook, so
they picked him up last year, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but they didn't. None of their running backs produced for them.
No, I mean they didn't even have James Cook start. He played every game, but he didn't start any game.
Yeah, Singletary was their starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they lost Singletary
and they got Naeem Hines. So
yeah.
We had one good game, and that was the Hamlin game.
Mm-hmm.
What running backs were available at this point? Zach Cabernet out of UCLA. That's the next running back that was picked. As I'm scrolling through, that was the next running back that was picked. Zach, I guess Cabernet is how his name is pronounced from UCLA.
Andre Miller from TCU would have been probably the better option in my opinion.
Okay. He went to
the 4th round to the Saints. Yeah.
Third round to Saints.
Sorry. And Tank Bigsby from Auburn. He went to the Jags, which makes no sense why the Jags are picking another running back. One every year.
No, I think they could have taken Eric Gray out of Oklahoma, and that guy's a pretty good running back.
Also, probably they could have also gotten probably a linebacker too. Like tight end was not the choice unless you're going to get rid of Dawson Knox.
But why would you get rid of a top 5 tight end?
Exactly.
That makes no sense. No sense. But moving on to the very next player. At number 26, the Dallas Cowboys select Mazie Smith, defensive tackle out of Michigan. How do you guys feel about this one?
They needed him.
Was he the best pick at that position? At number 26, was he the best pick at number 26? For them?
Yes, for them. I mean, they could have gone maybe a receiver. I don't know. Running back.
Yeah.
No, like I agree the defensive player should have been picked, but was it the right defensive player? Because there were a couple of players that were still on the board that they could have taken ahead of Mazie Smith. But
I mean, Miles Murphy from Clemson, but I don't think they don't really need defensive end, they need defensive tackle because they have they typically have Mike Parsons edge rushing.
Well, they have Brian Breesy out of Clemson too.
He's not better than Mazie Smith.
No, I think Mazie Smith was probably the best pick for them if they were going to go defensive tackle here.
Yeah, he's more of a run stopper, so he's going to be filling the gap, which they really need because they're going to be going against Saquon Barkley.
So they'll be filling the gap while
Micah's on the outside.
Micah Parsons is okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But
who would you have taken here?
I would have probably either taken Miles Murphy or Brian Breesy, but
Miles Murphy's a defensive end. They don't need a defensive end.
No, because they have a D-Law. So
they don't really need somebody on the outside. So them stuff in the gap would have been better. And he's big. I think isn't he bigger than Breesy?
Let's see.
Yeah,
Mazie Smith is
6'3", but 323, and Brian
6'3",
Breesy's
337, and
Breezy 6'6", under 300.
Yeah.
He's long. He's taller, but not bigger.
Yeah, he's 6'5", 290. Breezy is.
Yeah. So I mean, really, at that point, yeah, you could have gone Breezy. I think Mazzy Smith fits their scheme better. A guy that played at Michigan sort of plays already the style that Cowboys sort of already played defense wise with that 3-4-esque scheme. They technically have an edge rusher, so they play a 3-4.
Right.
So I think it's he's already sort of used to it. I think it was a good pick for them right there.
Okay. All right. So moving on from that pick at number 27, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Anton Harrison, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. How do you guys feel about this pick?
Smart and something they needed.
Yeah, they need tackles to
protect.
Protect. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word protect. But yeah, they need tackles to protect Trevor Lawrence.
They're also going to be missing Cam Robinson for the PED suspension, so they needed a big, powerful offensive tackle off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point in the draft, he was probably the best option available. Doug Peterson, I think, is really good at getting potential out of younger guys, as we've seen with his ability to lead the Eagles to a championship and then lead the Jaguars in his first season so far into the playoffs, or so far to the playoffs. I mean,
yeah.
Especially with a young team, and he's doing it. He got the best out of Carson Wentz, and he got the best out of Trevor Lawrence, and it was all helped with having a great offensive line. I think him getting the option right here was the smartest thing. They could have gone maybe defensive tackle, maybe, but no, I think the offensive pickup was best for them.
All right, so moving on to the number 28 pick, the Cincinnati Bengals do take Myles Murphy, defensive end out of Clemson. How does this? You guys like this pick?
They need help. The Bengals, we talk about it, they need help on both sides of the line, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much that Joe Burrow can do by himself. That defense has got to pick it up a little bit, but his O-line has got to protect him as well.
Yep.
So it was, which route do you go with your first pick, a defensive guy or an offensive lineman, and they clearly felt that Myles Murphy was the best option for them at the number 28 spot.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, because like we said, they definitely need defensive help. I almost personally would have went more offensive lineman, maybe a tackle or something there.
Well, the next offensive lineman that was picked was at 36, in the second round, the 36th pick. The Rams took Steve Avella, who was an offensive guard out of TCU. So that was that one. And he was the next one, next offensive lineman that was picked after Anton Harrison at 27. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see where you guys coming from in terms of offensive lineman. Yeah, I mean, it could have went one way or the other. Which, I mean, the Bengals, I mean, they're trying their best to get back, to the AFC Championship game. I know, they're not the favorites, but they're definitely up there in terms of like teams who have the best chances of winning a Super Bowl. But moving on from there, at number 29, the New Orleans Saints select Brian Breezy, defensive tackle out of Clemson. How do you guys feel about this particular pick?
Definitely needed. But they're also in the same boat as the Bengals, where they needed help on both sides of the line. But I think this might have been the best pickup for them at that point in the draft. So I think they went the right way, especially to help out Shit. I forgot who was on their defensive line now. I just went blank.
The Saints D line is Jonathan Abrams, Paulson,
Cameron Jordan. There you go.
Okay.
I don't know why I went blank. Like, he's been there for so long, and he's just a. Yeah, I just went blank right there. But no, him and Cameron Jordan will definitely be a terrifying duo inside. So I think, like I said,
they've got Cam Jordan listed as a defensive end, and Breesy is a defensive tackle. So
yeah, but they're going to be playing right next to each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're gonna learn from somebody, hey, you know.
Hey, yeah. Tell me how do I put my hands to get past this guy? That's the guy to ask.
Hey,
pretty much.
But moving on there to the 30th overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select yet another Georgia player, Nolan Smith, linebacker out of the University of Georgia. How you guys feel about this one?
I said it already. They definitely won the draft. Picking the national championship team. They have a team that's already knows how to win and go to the championship, and they just went one themselves. They're making their strong defense stronger.
Exactly, Chip.
I mean, Roger took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, these guys have chemistry together, so they know, you know, what one is going to do as opposed to not do. Then, you know, you got the Eagles, who had a strong defense last season, just went to, you know, the championship. You know, so it's just like, you know, how do you make a good team better? You pick up championship caliber players.
Exactly.
And like those, you're getting guys who are learning from championship caliber players already. Because I mean, he's going to be, he's the outside linebacker, so he's probably going to be learning from Riddick, and fuck, who else is there? The older guy, Brandon Graham. Sorry.
Yeah, Brandon Graham. Yeah, absolutely.
And those are two guys you definitely want to learn from.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and being and Fletcher Cox is still there as well. So I mean, he's definitely somebody you can learn from as well. And then with the final pick in the first round at number 31, the Kansas City Chiefs select Felix.
Yes,
Uzma.
Uzma.
I was trying to say the full name. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
You knew I was going to fuck it up too. You was waiting.
I mean, I don't even know how to pronounce that middle name, so I'm like, I'm just going to go with Uzma.
Defensive end out of Kansas State. Onadike? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, how you guys feel about this pick?
I mean, you're giving the championship team a great young guy to learn from that defensive line. And he might even be a starter, to be honest.
He might be.
He's very strong and fast, so who knows?
He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. So
we'll just have to see how this season goes for the Chiefs, who do not have their offensive mastermind, so they may rely more on defense. They'll probably be playing defense more because they're going to have Mahomes just throwing the ball as much as possible, really.
Yeah, because their new offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy.
Like I said, they're going to be relying on the defense a little bit more.
Yeah, everyone said that the Kansas City Chiefs would be, dead in the water without Tyreek, and they've won another damn Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they still had Eric Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator / play caller.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was the difference. Now they have Matt Nagy.
Yeah, because Bieniemy made a lateral move to go Washington.
Yep, Commanders.
Am I correct on that?
He's an overtake for Ron Rivera if he fucks up this season because he's co-head coach.
So they made it a co-head coaching deal, not just.
That's why he took the job, because he's offensive coordinator, but also co-head coach.
Yes, or assistant head coach.
He should be coaching in Indy or Arizona.
No, I think it says co-head coach.
Well, it said, according to Wikipedia, and we know how that works, it says he's the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator.
Yeah, because you can be. I mean, you can have two titles like that. You can be a coordinator and also be. I mean, because obviously he'll be doing most of the play calling.
Oh, he'll be doing all the fucking play calling.
Yeah. I mean, unless Ron Rivera wants to have input, and then head coach, has.
I mean,
until they fucking fire you.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
How many games until he gets fired?
I'll give him. I'll give him.
What's their schedule?
Half the season.
What's their schedule? They haven't released yet. I know,
no.
but like,
yeah, they've released the schedule.
They have?
No.
Yeah, they have. I just seen something the other. I think one of my buddies who's a Bills fan just posted the schedule for. Oh no, he posted the opponents. Never mind. The opponents.
Yeah,
but they haven't
done the schedule
yet.
yet.
Never mind. The schedule.
The
schedule hadn't come out yet. The opponents have been announced, but not the schedule. Okay. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say they released it today, because I didn't check today. But
right. But that was the first round. Without going too crazy and long-winded with this.
Well, hold on, real quick. You were talking about the Commander schedule. Here's their opponents: the Cowboys, the Rams,
Cowboys,
Rams, Patriots, Giants, Jets, Eagles, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, Dolphins, Bills, Falcons, Broncos, Bears.
They got a tough fucking schedule.
And then obviously, they played the Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles twice.
Yeah, but that's a fucking tough schedule.
Yeah.
So
do they have 8 or 9 home games?
They should have less. They should have away games. I think more away games.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games.
8 home games. So they got the 9 away games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do they figure up that extra week schedule?
I think it's positive record.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, so that's the first round. I don't want to go through the whole entire draft because we'll be here all fucking night. But is there any round 2 selections that you guys maybe were surprised about? Like maybe someone you're excited about? Anyone in particular?
Hendon Hooker going to the Lions.
Hendon Hooker going to the Lions. Was that the second round?
I thought it was. It might have been third round.
No. In second round, Will Levis.
Who cares?
Got selected by the Tennessee Titans, quarterback out of Kentucky. I'm assuming they're going to back him behind Tannehill. And
I don't see Tannehill starting.
Malik Willis?
No, Tannehill start because of that money.
I honestly think they'll probably end up releasing Tannehill. Hendon Hooker went in the third, by the way.
Third, okay.
Yeah. Jalen Hyatt also went in the third.
Yeah. Joey Porter Jr. went in the second round to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that his father played for. So, cool little father-son moment there.
Well, real quick, Talon, since you didn't have a first-round pick or a second-round pick, or I'm sorry, you did have one. How did you feel about the Dolphins' 4 draft picks?
Well, Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. I didn't really watch him play a lot, so I didn't really have a good idea of who he is. But if he can bolster the defense, the defense in terms of ball hawking skills and things of that nature, like I'm all for it. I mean, he's listed at 6 foot 185 or 188. I'm sorry. He is an All-American, at the position, so we'll definitely see what happens there. Devin, I can't pronounce his name to save my life. Ache or something like that. The running back out of Texas A&M. Had good, somewhat good college statistics. Ran for 2,300 yards total in the season, which I think he was more known for his kick returns. He had 11 kickoff returns for 312 yards and a touchdown. So, he might be serviceable maybe on special teams and maybe for a third down situation. Elijah Hitchens out of Stanford, I don't know where they would place him because you still had Tyreek, you still have Jalen Waddle, you still have, good pieces. Could he fit in with them? I don't know. We'll see. And then last but not least, Ryan Hayes, offensive tackle out of Michigan. I feel like, definitely the offensive line has been somewhat of an issue, especially protecting Tua so he doesn't, his brain doesn't turn into fish paste. But, we'll certainly see what happens. With us only having 4 picks, there's not really a whole lot to go off of. You know what I mean? So I can't really be overwhelmed or even underwhelmed at this point about the draft picks. I mean, we needed a corner. We could use a running back if we're going running back by committee. But other than that, I mean, it was kind of a mid draft for us, to be completely honest with you. I mean, we only had 4 picks,
Yeah.
But aside from that, I mean, I don't know, to be completely honest with you, bro. I really don't. I think maybe 2 of these guys would make a roster spot. Maybe. I mean, Hedges and Hayes may get a practice squad job, maybe, but I don't know. I can't really divulge any more information than that, honestly.
All right.
But if we move on to the Denver Broncos,
yeah, Roger, how did you feel about your 5 picks?
We picked up another receiver from Oklahoma, and I didn't really see the point of that one. In the second, which was our first pick. But in the third round, we got Riley Moss from Iowa, cornerback, which I thought was really good. We do need another corner back there. But we also got I missed him in the 4th, I believe is what it was. Or we didn't pick in the 4th. I don't even remember when we fucking picked because of how bad our drafting is right now.
So you guys had 1 second, 2 third, 1 6th, and 1 7th.
I think we got a linebacker from Arkansas. Inside linebacker. I think that's all right. Really overall, we pretty much just picked needs to fill up for right now. We're pretty much just plugging holes in a sinking ship. Hopefully we get more picks next season, better picks next season. We're actually able to pick up something we like, a more impactful player. I do think the receiver from Oklahoma will help out in the slot. I think he's a smaller guy, if I'm correct. 5'11", 183. So yeah. I think we just, like I said, just plugged in the holes right now until we get what we need to get.
Right. Well, Chip, we've already discussed CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. But what about your other 7 picks for that Houston picked up?
So we got a new center from Penn State, Juice Scruggs. Juice Scruggs is a really good center. I don't think he's going to start by any means, but he will learn and be the backup center for sure. Then we got a couple of receivers. You got Nathan Dell, wide receiver out of Houston. That dude was probably the steal of the draft when it comes to the receiver position. If you go look at his gameplay from Houston, I mean, he was balling out. He had 2 seasons in a row he had 1,300 receiving yards. 2021 he had 90 receptions for 1,312 touchdowns, and last year he had 109 receptions for 1,317 touchdowns. That's definitely going to help on the offense, I think. Then we picked up Dylan Horton, defensive end out of TCU. Probably not going to start, but He'll be a backup. He's pretty good, not great. Then picking up Henry Totoa out of Alabama, that linebacker, like that dude was really good in Alabama, and I just hope that can transfer over to the NFL. And then we picked up Xavier Hutchinson out of Iowa State. Like this dude was really good as well. If you look at his stats, last season he had 107 receptions for 1,100 yards, and the year before that he barely missed the 1,000-yard mark on only 83 receptions. So they're definitely trying to bolster that offense as well. And then we picked up Brandon Hill, that safety out of Pittsburgh, who he's okay. Probably not going to be a starter. He'll probably play off the bench per se, but in his sophomore year, he had 67 tackles, 2 passes broken up. So but he's also playing under D'Amico Ryan, so he'll get to learn from a really sharp defensive minded guy.
Right. As I'm looking through the rest, I noticed that 14 different quarterbacks were selected in this round, in this draft. Bryce Young obviously going to the Panthers, CJ Stroud to the Texans, Anthony Richardson to the Colts, and those were within the first 4 picks. Another quarterback wasn't drafted until the second round, 33rd pick, when the Titans picked up Will Levis out of Kentucky. And then 68th, the Detroit Lions select Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. Now, Hendon is still out with an injury right now. Am I wrong on that? Am I wrong on that?
Yes, he's still injured.
Okay. All right. So is this almost like a Willis McGahee kind of situation where we're going to draft you, but we're going to let you rehab pretty much?
Yeah. I mean, he still have Jared Goff, so I mean, it's not like they're hurting for a quarterback.
Right. And then so many people, Georgia Bulldog fans, were asking, why isn't Stetson Bennett up there as far, but Stetson Bennett did get drafted in the 4th round at 128 to the Los Angeles Rams, because they need an older quarterback to take care of Matthew Stafford. But no, I think, it's a good fit, I guess. How do y'all feel about Stetson Bennett going to the Rams?
I think he was probably the least NFL ready quarterback. Yeah, he just won 2 national championships, but if you look at his gameplay and you compare it to NFL quarterbacks, I think he was probably the least NFL ready quarterback, or big name quarterback in this draft, and that's why he fell so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, that's the thing. Like the draft is so we talked about it every single time we do one of these episodes where we talk about the draft, and it's like, oh, well, they said he wasn't NFL ready, and it's like I keep going back to it, but I mean, Russell Wilson was a 3rd round pick, Tom Brady was a 6th round pick.
Well, if you
it's not an exact science here,
Well, also if you look at like the draft grade on Patrick Mahomes, he had a C-, and they said he was going to be a project to become an NFL quarterback, and
he was a project.
Yeah,
Every enemy's project.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see, like what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we can't really go off of the draft grades. Like, yeah, it makes them look pretty, but until they actually step on the field in an NFL game and produce something, we're just guessing.
Yep.
Right. Well, I mean, if they said Stetson Bennett was one, I mean, Max Duggan was selected. He was the last quarterback selected, the quarterback out of TCU going to the Chargers. He damn sure ain't beating out Justin Herbert. I mean, let's just be real.
But he could be another Brock Purdy.
He could be another Brock
be.
Purdy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if he goes down, maybe if Justin Herbert goes down, knock on wood, don't want to wish that on nobody. But overall, the draft had some good moments, had some surprises. We'll definitely see what happens this upcoming season. So final question before we end it tonight. Which team do you think won the draft this year?
The Eagles.
Eagles. Okay, I was fixing to say that was damn near unanimous.
Well, I mean, even their later rounds, they picked what they needed.
Yeah, I think. Mm-hmm. So I think the first round, if we're just looking at the first round was between Houston and Philadelphia as to who won that first round. But if we're going overall, it was the Eagles.
Yeah, because later on they got an offensive tackle from Alabama, they got a safety from Illinois to both start the defense and help that offensive line, the agent offensive line. The offensive tackle from Alabama is about to have the easiest mentorships ever.
Yes.
So they also got the corner from Georgia, Keely Ringo. So they're going to have another good guy with chemistry there. Also learning other bunch of guys that are just going to be able to teach them easier. Then they had, who's the other pick that I saw?
Moro Ojomo from Texas.
Yes, I believe that's the one. Yeah,
defensive end. Yeah,
he's really good too.
Yeah, so I mean, they picked literally everything they needed, and they're also picking for their future because we know their offensive and defensive line are aging out.
Yeah, they definitely won the draft this year, I think. And people could see. Again, we talk about it every single time we do one of these episodes. Are these players going to pan out, and what's going to happen and stuff like that? But yeah, everything at this point, it's all rumor, innuendo, conjecture, and all that sort of stuff. And we'll see what happens when the actual play on the field begins. Obviously, training camp is coming up really soon. And preseason starts August, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
August.
Do we know what team is the Hard Knocks team this year?
Let me look that up real quick.
If it's the Eagles, then we're about to find out how they're going to be the best team again. But they usually pick lower end teams, don't they?
Detroit.
Jets.
No, it's the Jets.
That's this year.
Okay. No, the Lions was last year. I'm sorry.
Says 4 teams were eligible. So for those who aren't familiar with the Hard Knocks formula, the team does not have to be on the show if any of the 3 rules below apply to them. They have a first-year head coach, they have a playoff berth in the past 2 seasons, or they have appeared on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
For instance, the Denver Broncos don't have to be on the show in 2023 because they'll have a new head coach. The Patriots won't have to be in the show because they've made the playoffs at least once in the past 2 seasons. And the Cowboys won't have to be on the show because they've appeared on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years.
They've been on it 3 times.
Yeah, so the Raiders.
02, 08, and 2021.
Yeah. So the choices are between the Jets, the Bears, the Saints, and the Commanders.
Let's go with the Bears this year. Let's see Justin Fields.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm okay with that.
It doesn't look like they've announced who it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't think the Commanders would be a good pick? I mean, with all the drama that's going on around that franchise right now, with the whole
no, that's exactly why they shouldn't be on it because that ownership change.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Jets were previously on Hard Knocks in 2010. Do you remember the big news story out of that?
2010 was Bountygate, right?
That was Rex Ryan telling his team to eat a goddamn snack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, the Dolphins Hard Knocks season was mostly centered around Chad Johnson. And if Chad Johnson was gonna, actually make the team or not, But that's it for this episode. If you guys let us know if you guys agree with our opinions, disagree with our opinions, which teams got it right, which teams you think won the draft. Let us know in the comments down below. And we do appreciate you guys watching here. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here tonight?
As always, check out movementradio.us. That is your one-stop shop for all things Movement Radio.
What you guys say, Raj?
Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe. Well, you're probably already on YouTube if you're watching this video. So hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Tell us about who your team is and who they picked and what you thought their overall grade was, because we really want to know that. Because we talked about our teams, and I said mine was very mediocre. Chip had the best draft out of all of us. But hit the like button, share with your friends, let everybody know, that you listen to us, and thank you for supporting us.
Absolutely. Thank you all for the love and support. Shout out to all of our sponsors too, the OGGearAnime.com, audibletrial.com/movement radio, Canva, Zulily, W.GG, Elementor, GetResponse, Just Cash Clothing, and Entertainment Earth. Shout out to all of our friends and family that's been down with us since day one. You know who you are. We made it to 500 subs, and we can't thank you guys enough. We hit our year-end goal way before year-end, and we do appreciate it. So now let's move it to 1,000. If you guys don't mind, let's try to get to 1,000. We would definitely appreciate that. That being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to tonight's episode. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we will catch you guys next time. Let's hit them with the outro.
Please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and right here on YouTube.
Make sure you go check us out on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, click that bell to get notified of our latest videos. Streamlabs.com/movement radio/merch. Go copy some merch. And once again, movementradio.us, your one-stop shop for all things Movement Radio.
I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Roger Sierra.
And this is Movement Radio.